question, and the most important one, is what drew you to sustainable fashion?
That is a good question, because I want to be someone that has carried the pattern to help the planet in the cheesiest way possible. Yeah, I think I want to be someone for good. So I've had so much rubbish in my life. I want to sort of go, you know what, I'm going to give back and start trying to reverse all the karma, the bad karma that I've created. So in the sense, I'm kind of trying to be as good as possible.
Do right.
Yeah. Just like before it gets to that point where I'm at the pearly gates or whatever, I just go, you know what, I've done all this in my life now, but I've done the sustainable thing. Yeah. No, I think it's that what interests me about sustainability, especially getting into sustainable fashion, is the amount of support out there that you can actually get with it. And I think it's so easy nowadays as well. Like years ago, people used to sit there and go, "Oh, sustainable fashion," but so it's hemp or made of really coarse material, and it was always expensive. Whereas I've managed to, with my brand, I've managed to find a more consumer and cost-effective way of being sustainable. So I think that's.
Which allows people like us that say it's expensive to actually buy it, because no, it's no different to any normal unsustainable clothing.
Yeah, like I was just explaining this there, and I was asked, oh, what's it like for pricing wise for another gown, a black gown? Because I source mine from different factories. What's the difference between using this and this? It's about 70 pence. It's that. Yeah, because this T-shirt, I can get another T-shirt of the same size and everything else for 70 pence less, but it's not sustainable. So why would I not just add that?
Sustainable.
At 70 pence across the whole business idea, you're not going to put 70 pence on a garment, you just spread it out. To me, it makes sense.
Yeah, I agree, yeah. So what sort of, I don't know, what would you say has changed since you started doing your sort of sustainable clothing? What's changed in the last few years to where you are now, I guess?
I've got more of an idea of why. My end goal is getting clearer, because before I just wanted to make T-shirts. I was just a T-shirt man. I wasn't a clothing brand or a fashion house or whatever. I was just a T-shirt brand. And I think finding the supplier I use now, it's so accessible. You can set up an email address, log into the supplier's website, and say, I've got a brand, and they'll just give you a flat rate and a wholesale price. And you can even talk to the reps that go up and down the country, and they'll give you a couple of samples of T-shirts and hoodies and whatever, and you go away, get yourself a little heat press, and then just print. It's so easy now. And I think when I first started, I generally thought you had to be a screen printer, and more of you had to be technical. It is still technical, learning your pressure, your time, and everything else, and your placement. But being able to just get everything within an instant as well, it's really good. And it's like I was saying downstairs, that my turnaround time for printing, even though I've gone into batch printing now, it's still, you're getting hand printing garment within a week. It's not going from the shelf into I don't hold stock. So because of the fast turnaround times from my suppliers to me to then to the consumer, that's what's changed, I think, because it took me a while to understand when I first started to now I'm turning around garments within weeks. And even big orders like this one that Andrea told me, she was like really last minute. And
did it pretty quickly.
I was like, yeah, I can do that. I can source you, because she wanted something organic and ethical. And I said, well, I can do it straight away.
Would you say you face any challenges trying to be sustainable with your clothing, or is it actually all good?
It's not all good. What business is actually not good? I think the biggest challenge for me is because I'm not an influencer mindset or anything like that. I think it's trying to tell my story whilst I think keeping the quality there as well, because it's so hard to set up the like your phone and stuff, and then getting your actual garment printed whilst filming and creating this content. I think that's the hardest bit for me, is the content creation. Because I do the stories and stuff, but it's just a quick, this is what I'm doing today, guys, don't do that. But now people actually want a day in the life of things.
What you do.
And people follow that stuff. And I've been filming today and doing bits and bats today, and it's going to take me another hour or two to knock it all together.
It's time consuming.
And I haven't got the time to do that.
Yeah.
I think that's the most difficult, and trying to convince people that just because it's a sustainable product and it's organic doesn't mean it's just for vegans or hippies or
everybody.
yeah, it's everybody. I think that's what a lot of the misconception is that a lot of people think that because you're sustainable, you're a vegan or you're a hippie or you're woke, and just don't use them terms around me. It's just
Yeah. Would you have any advice for, well, people like me or younger generations to be trying to be more sustainable, I guess?
I think don't jump in head first. Generally, just look at daily things. Like you've come today. I don't know whether you've come in a car or you've come on the bus or whatever.
Walked.
Or you've walked. There you go. That's sustainable. So I think if you look at the micros in that, like you've walked here. If you've used public transport, that's sustainable. If you've used the train, it's sustainable. And then, for instance, I think just start off small on the micros. Go, if you want to use Starbucks, God forbid, take your own cup, your reusable cup.
You did that.
Yeah,
There you
it's
go.
already been like
That's sustainable. So when you think, oh, I can't be sustainable because you've got to do this, this, and this. No, you start off small and then work your way up later. Your toothbrush at home doesn't have to be a plastic toothbrush. You could have a bamboo one. Or
Can't say I've seen a bamboo toothbrush before.
or like
You have
refillable.
one?
so
And it does the same job, so.
it does. And I think also with starting off small, you can also go with like you guys are probably more adapt for vintage and everything else.
Depot.
I do
There you go.
use vintage.
You know, there's stuff like that. So when people, like, especially the younger generation, look at, like, when I was younger, I didn't even understand what UK was. I say that as if I'm like 50 odd years old. I'm only 34. But when I was younger, I didn't grow up in a society. It was a throwaway society for us. And the biggest shop at the time in my city, from where I'm from, is Coventry. The biggest shop that we had were like Chapman and Topshop and H&M and River Island and stuff like that. Now, you've got, like, especially Leeds, it's so diverse with shopping. You go to these shops, there's vintage shops here, and that's amazing. So you're already doing more recycling and sustainable practices as a generation than what I would have done when I was younger.
Good point, actually. Yeah, there's like one called God's Onion, I think.
Yeah.
Not so far. I've been there and bought a few things.
North South vintage and high.
Not
Yeah. And I think it's become more, for you guys in your generation,
Normalised.
it's more normalised, yeah.
It's not seen as like, oh, you're wearing second-hand clothing.
Yeah,
When
yeah,
I
like-
do my shopping, I go around Headingley sometimes, like the charity shops on Headingley.
There you go. So you're already thinking sustainable. I think if you can keep that mindset up as you get older and you get your houses or your flats, I know you can't afford them, but when you manage to afford rent to get into a place, you know, it's think about growing your own fruit and veg on your windowsill or something. Or don't throw away your potatoes that have got sprouts on them. Just put them in mud. Yeah, just put them back in mud. You know, because
Think differently.
and then when you go shopping, go later on to like Tesco's Express or something, you see the
Reduced
reduced,
stuff.
yeah,
Yeah. Every time I go, they've gone.
because she's already there.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, that's definitely the advice. You'd start off with the micros, and then work up. So reduce, you go walking, you cycle or whatever. take your cup to Starbucks. Because that's the biggest challenge, is getting people onto that mindset.
But once you've started to do that, then follow it.
Your brain, I think it's 30 days, you can create a habit within 30 days. That habit's stuck. So if you start off by going to Starbucks 5 days a week, because everyone seems to have money for that, tell a lie, and just take your cup with you, you can get your, yeah.
And you get, isn't it cheaper?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's probably take like £1 or something.
Yeah, something like that. I know coffee shops do that.
a lot of
Which
coffee
is
shops.
good.
do that, yeah.
Well worth £1 off.
Everyone's Beckett does that.
I took my cup over earlier today, and I just gonna have a flat white, and it was like, oh, you're using your own cup? I was like, yeah. Yeah, it was like, oh, cheaper.
Yeah. Well, I think that's everything covered.